Hi everyone, it's Michelle. So as you can see by the title, today's video is going to be my word for the year. Now I haven't done a word for the year video since 2017 was the last time I did one. And 2017 was, my word back then was challenge. And 2017 ended up being a year of total challenges. That was the year where I had 7 deaths total, 2 of them being very significant. And 2017 was the year I challenged myself to make a lot of changes. Not New Year's resolution type changes, more working on me personally. And that was the year that I had read the book that, again, if you've been following me for a while, was a book that changed my life that year. It was called Mastering Your Mean Girl by Melissa Ambrosini. And by the end of 2017, I had a clear picture of the direction my life was changing. And then starting in 2018, everything fell into place and my life finally was exactly what I wanted. However, at the beginning of 2018, I didn't do a word for my year. And even though, you know, my dreams had come true with moving to Florida and a lot of other things, just that year also took a turn for the worse halfway through the year and things fell apart. 2019 rolled around, complete uprooting of our lives again, and I never did a word for my year that year. 2020, didn't do one for that year either, and if I would it have mattered? Because 2020, y'all know, like, why bother? So I thought, back in December, I thought, you know what, Michelle? If you want your life to be everything that you want it to be, you need to go back to the mindset you had in 2017 and even the end of 2016. So it took me a few weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, because I really started thinking about this when I had gotten home from the hospital from this last emergency. And I came home from the hospital, I think it was December 1st or 2nd, one of those 2 days, whatever that Tuesday was. And that's when I was home for probably a week, and then that's when I started thinking about it. You know, what is my word for this year? And what am I going to do to achieve my goals again? I'm not setting resolutions. I'm just not that person, mainly because when I do, I fail, as I think a lot of us do. Y'all know the most popular ones are, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna exercise, I'm going to set a budgeting goal. I'm just not that type of person to do the resolution thing. Again, I think resolutions equal deprivation. So you're going to resolve to do something, but normally to make that happen, you have to deprive yourself of something to do that. And that's just not me. I don't think it's realistic. Again, maybe some people can do that. I just know myself, it's not me. So, all that rambling to say, I have notes here. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. My word for 2021 is focus. The word is focus. So I took the time to look up what the actual definition is according to Webster. So the definition of the word focus, several. First one is a center of activity, attraction, or attention. And the next definition is a point of concentration. And then the final definition is a state or condition permitting clear perception or understanding. And I thought all three of those were, well, of course they were dead on. That's the definition. But I like the way that Webster described what the word focus means. So I have written down 5 things that I want to focus on for the year. Again, not resolutions, just something that I want to focus my attention, focus my energy. And what I did is I wrote down all 5 things, and then I wrote down how I'm going to focus on those things in the coming year. So, number 1, first thing I want to focus on is my health. As you know, recently has been the emergency colostomy, but if you've been following me since I've started this channel, the end of 2015, you will have followed me through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major surgeries. I'm not talking little things, I'm talking major. And none of them were the result of me doing something stupid or being completely unhealthy. They're just things that happened. So my health is an ongoing crisis, it seems like. But I want to focus some of my energy this year on my health. I know that I'm going to have another huge surgery in May to get the colostomy reversed. So that's going to mean reopening that incision that they just took 32 staples to close up. They're going to reopen it. They're going to have to go in there, and my rectum is tied shut right now. That has to open up again. They got to take the bag off. They have to sew that up. So, and then we have to make sure all the plumbing works. So I know that I'm not going to have a year of no medical crises. That's going to be one that I have to deal with. I still have the knees that I'm dealing with. Again, I'm hoping that obviously my knee surgery was canceled. My orthopedic surgeon wants to do them now. I'm not willing to go through it now, dealing with the bag. I just don't want to deal with 2 major events at one time. I'd like to maybe try some more shots. Let's see if they don't fail this time. So I'm putting off the knees as long as I can. So I know my health is going to be an issue this year. But what I want to focus on is how can I, knowing that I have these issues coming up, how can I work on my health around those things? So I come up with 3 things, and I'm sure I could probably add more, but this is the first, these are the ones that came to the forefront of my mind when I was thinking about this. The first thing that I need to concentrate on is reducing my stress. That's the cause of my diverticulitis to begin with, is stress. It's just how my body handles stress. So, number 1 health goal, focus on reducing the stress. I've been doing very well with that. For example, yesterday was January 6th. If you're in the United States and you watch the news, you know what was going on. And my husband was stressing about it. You know, he was thinking this is going to be the last day of America being normal, and today we were going to wake up to hell and chaos. And then he called me this morning, asked me if I seen anything regarding news yesterday, because we did not watch the news last night. And I said, you know what? I don't give a shit. And I'm not saying that to be un-American and ignorant. There's a fine line between keeping your head in the sand and being aware of what's going on in the world. But I know I have to be able to turn it off, not deal with the stress. My viewpoint right now, after all this, is all politicians suck. They now are at the bottom of the bottom of the food chain. They even rank lower than lawyers and used car salesmen to me right now. So That's how I have to deal with it. I have to be able to take major shit that happens like that and just find a way to put a spin on it and laugh about it, because I cannot let the stress eat at me. So yes, first thing with my health is I need to learn to reduce the stress. Second thing is I need to move my body every day. Every day I need to find some way to get some exercise. It doesn't have to be huge. I don't have to go out there and walk 5 miles, especially now when it's freezing cold. But because I'm currently not working, although hopefully that's changing soon, because I'm currently not working, I don't get away from the house every day, and I don't want to be a couch potato. Now, y'all know I clean a lot, and that's exercise. But I want to do more than that. So like today, I went to a mall over in Lancaster, and I had a shirt to return. And I really wasn't looking for anything, but I took the opportunity just to walk in the mall. Something to just get my body active and working. I don't want muscle atrophy. Again, especially because I have an upcoming surgery, I need to be limber. The better off I am physically, the quicker I'm going to heal after this next surgery. And I want to be able to bounce back PDQ. And then the third thing I want to really focus on is increasing my water intake. Now, again, if you were watching a few videos ago, you saw me update that, oh crap, I was drinking water and I was getting sick. Well, here I wasn't supposed to be drinking water because the water was pulling all my vitamins and nutrients out that I was giving my body, because my body couldn't absorb it because of the colostomy bag. So I go to see my surgeon next Tuesday. I have been getting in a little more water than what, I couldn't drink any. I had to live off of like Pedialyte and Gatorade and Hydrolyte and things like that. So I have increased my liquids to other things. So I'm assuming I can start with the water now. Yesterday was 6 weeks post-surgery. So I would like to be able to increase my water intake. My goal is 1 gallon a day. I know that's a lot to shoot for, but it doesn't mean I have to achieve that goal next month. If I achieve that goal in August, at least I've achieved the goal. If it takes till next November, I've achieved it. But again, the focus is going to be increasing the amount of water I drink every day. So that was the 3 things to be able to focus on improving my health. The next thing that I want to focus on this year is money. We all want more money. Can we ever have enough money? I'm sure we can. But do we ever think we have enough money? Now, there's a difference between, wanting to just be filthy, stinking rich, or just having enough money that you don't have to worry. And that I'm not out to become a multimillionaire. That's not the goal. But I just want to increase the amount of money we have, because we have goals to use that money toward. So the 3 things that I came up with to increase the amount of money we have. First thing I want to look at doing is cutting the grocery budget. Mike and I eat very well. Again, if you've been following us, you know we eat better than most people. It's nothing for me to buy scallops and filet mignon and soft shell crabs, and we eat good. Do I need to eat like that all the time? No. Can I substitute a sirloin steak for filet mignon? Absolutely. Maybe make the filet mignon for special occasions, and otherwise when I want steak, eat sirloin. There's tons of ways to cut the grocery budget, and my channel is not a budgeting channel, and it's not a money saving channel. There are plenty of channels out there on YouTube that focus on cutting grocery budget, slashing your budget everywhere, not just groceries. And that's not what I'm going to focus on. But I know I can go to those channels and find ways to slash my grocery budget. And food is expensive. The cost of beef since COVID hit has just skyrocketed. It's just killing me. Now Mike's nephew has a cattle farm. So we're toying now with, do we want to invest in a small freezer and maybe buy a quarter of a beef because we know we can get it cheaper through him. So, we're weighing, because, that is then two big expenses, buying the freezer, buying the beef. But in the long run, you save money, but it's probably going to take us 2 years to recoup the money we're spending up front. So again, you have to just weigh the pros and cons there. But slashing the grocery budget is one of the ways to achieve having more money in my pocket. My second thing is I do have some debt that I would like us to pay off. I have a few credit cards, nothing huge. Like I have a Kohl's card that when I was in the hospital, I had bought some leggings and stuff because I needed clothing to wear to deal with the bag. So like I put stuff like that on there, and so yeah, I have a Kohl's card to pay off. I do have a MasterCard, a Capital One MasterCard that I need to pay off. So that's a goal, and again, it's nothing huge. I'm not one of these people that has a 5-figure credit card balance. Nothing like that. So what I have is definitely manageable, and I can get it paid off by the end of the year if I focus. So again, plus the only other debt we have is my car. We're still paying on my Mazda. Am I going to get that paid off this year? Probably not. We have, what year are we in? 2020. I have 2 more years to pay on that. But the focus is going to be pay off the credit cards, because obviously they have the higher interest rate than the Mazda. And once I get those paid off, then I'll start putting the extra on the Mazda. And the third thing to put more money in my pocket is obviously to work more. Now, again, I have been out of work for a couple months. I see my surgeon this Tuesday. I'm going to ask for clearance to go back. And today I actually went to Target, talked to the one girl in Human Resources about my situation because they weren't aware of what happened. They thought I was out getting my knees operated on. And she's like, oh, well, therapy must be working. You're walking good. I'm like, yeah, that didn't happen. So I had to tell her exactly what went down. Unfortunately, the girl that I talked to isn't the one that I need to talk to make some accommodations for me, and those 2 girls were not in today, but she's going to relay the message, and then I'm going to call her next Tuesday after I visit with my surgeon. They do have to make some accommodations for me, like I can't lift over 15 pounds or I could give myself a hernia. Well, for the most part, working at Target, with what I do at Target, I don't do a lot of lifting. But if somebody comes through the line with something that is large and it needs to be like handled to be able to scan it or whatever, I need to make sure I'm okay with asking for help and they're not going to ding me for that. Also, there's a wardrobe accommodation they may have to make with me for the next 5 months until I get this reversed, because I can't wear like the jeans and stuff like that with what I'm dealing with. Plus, they have to be comfortable with me coming back to work with a colostomy bag. So my goal is, yes, back to work, and then I'd like to take my paycheck and just shove it right toward debt and or savings. So those are my 3 things to have more money. Third thing I want to focus on this year is our goal of Florida. You all know that's where we want to be, and that's where we are headed. So what can I do now this year to prepare for moving back? I know we're not going to be moving this year. I shouldn't say that. Anything can happen, but our focus is not on, oh my gosh, we want to be out of here in a year. We'll know when the time is right. We will feel it when the time is right. But we want to make sure we're focused on that being a big goal of ours. So I came up with 2 things that I need to, really, Michelle? Two things? 2 things that I need to do to focus on that goal of moving to Florida. First one is I need to make sure that Mike's resume is updated. I'm pretty sure that it is, but I need to double check that. Plus I have the new computer that I just bought. His resume's on the old computer. So I've got to get that transferred. That way, when the time comes, you know, and he has to apply for jobs, resume is done, ready to go. I don't have to think about it. And I'm the one that takes care of the resumes. He doesn't even fool with them. So again, I'm pretty sure we're all updated and ready to go, but I may have to change address on it and things like that. So that'll be quick. I don't have to worry about updating my resume. I probably still will, just in case, again, if I'm browsing job boards one day and I see something that, you know, sounds uber exciting for me, you know, my resume's ready to go. But the goal is to be his first. With working at Target, to transfer to a Target in another area, I don't have to reapply like I did with AAA. Like when I worked at AAA here in Pennsylvania, to be able to work at AAA in Florida, I literally had to apply online like I was not employed at AAA. I was considered a new hire. With Target, it's different. They pick up the phone and they say, hey, we have an employee coming to your area, and this is the area that they work in the store, and that's it. So I know I can go to Target, or I can go to Florida and have my job at Target, just in a different location. My TSA job, obviously, because of COVID, is still non-existent right now. I shouldn't say that. They did offer me a couple of positions because I still am on priority hiring status till April 11th or 12th, something like that. And there are TSA positions that have opened up. They sent me a list of like 20 some cities. 7 of them were in Alaska. And the rest of them were all like North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. Nowhere I would even remotely consider working. There was none in the state of Florida. TSA, of course, is going to be the priority, and that's mainly because I want the federal government benefits. So come April of this year, everything that I went through to get the job with TSA just goes away, and I will have to start over completely from square one with all the tests and all the interviews and the physicals. And well, in April, this isn't even going to be reversed yet. So and again, with COVID, travel just, yeah, what can I say? I don't know. I mean, my daughter works for American and they're busy. You know, they were booked to 100% the other day. So people are flying again. But I think until we start seeing more international flights, they're not going to need any more TSA agents. I never lose hope and never say never. But that's still my number one goal is TSA. So where was I at with that? Oh, updating my resume so that I'm ready to go. So the other thing that I decided that I can do to focus on the goal of moving to Florida is I want to set up a separate account for moving expenses and start putting money each week into that account. It's expensive to move 1,000 miles away. We've done it 3 times. We moved me in beginning of 18, trailering a car, moving the entire house, getting set up down there. 7 weeks later, we had to rent another moving truck and trailer his 4Runner. And that moving truck had what was left in the house plus our entire garage contents. Then when we moved back here, we had trailered a car, drove a car, and another moving truck. And we didn't even bring most of our furniture back. Otherwise, we would have needed a hell of a lot bigger truck. To move everything we have in one move right now, we'd be pushing tractor trailer size. So that kind of stuff gets uber expensive. Again, we've been through it and paid those bills several times. So again, I'd like to set up a separate account just to put money in to cover those expenses. Then when the time comes and one of us gets a job offer or we feel that it is time to go, we don't think about it. It doesn't have to go on a credit card. Money's there. We just, here's our debit card. Bye. So, number 4, fourth thing I want to focus on this year. I should switch these 2 around. Okay, sorry, I didn't even tell you what the 4th one was, but my number 5 is going to become my number 4. Oh, God. Okay, I want to focus on gratitude. Gratitude was one of the things that made my goals achievable in 2017. I had gratitude at the forefront of my mind most of the day. And then this will flow into the fifth thing that I want to focus on, which is joy. Joy in my life. And again, just because I've done this before and I know how it works, plus the book I'm currently reading talks about the same thing. It's, it's proven. There's data, there's research. When you create a life of gratitude, your life then becomes more joyful. They go hand in hand. Gratitude makes joy. So, gratitude. What can I do to focus on gratitude? Well, first of all, one thing I did several years ago, and I started it again, was a gratitude list. I keep it on my phone on the Notes app on my smartphone. You could have a nice pretty journal that you could write in. You could just have a piece of notebook paper that you tape to your wall. It doesn't matter. But a gratitude list and writing things down, even if it's only one thing per day, it puts your mind in that habit of being thankful and then looking for things to be thankful for. So having a gratitude list is the one thing that I'm going to do and I'm already doing. The second thing is learning how to be thankful in every moment. And again, once you start that, it becomes second nature. So for example, today I was driving and, I had gotten up this morning and, one of the first things I do is I write down something I am thankful for. So I kind of let it go then and I start going throughout my day. So I'm driving today and the sun is shining and there isn't a cloud in the sky. And then I said it out loud. I said, I'm thankful for clear blue skies. And when you start practicing that in your life, just finding even the tiniest of things to be thankful for, and if you can, say them, verbalize them, say them out loud, it becomes second nature and you start seeing more things to be grateful for. And then like I said, when you develop that attitude of being thankful and being grateful, you become a more joyful person. When I changed my perspective on life in 2017, I remember some specific things that I had mentioned to Mike that I had noticed. And we have some people in the family who they just, no matter what they say or do, it's just irritating. I'm sure every family has those people where as soon as they open their mouth, they're rubbing me the wrong way. And I don't like spending extended periods of time with certain people because when I get home, I usually look at Mike and say, oh my God, there is X number of hours gone from my life that I will never get back. So again, I know every family has them. But when I started this practice of being thankful and it made me a more joyful person, I remember saying to Mike that, and we had gone to visit this one relative, and it's on his side, just to let you know. and I've never had this person on film, so y'all would know who it is anyway. But anyway, we had gone to visit this person, and we got home, and I remember saying to Mike that, oh my God, this person didn't bug me. It's like whatever they said that normally would have just ate away at my soul, just flowed off of me like water flowing across the oil. Like it didn't even mix, they were separate. So, oh my God, I completely lost my train of thought. Joy. So again, I know I've been through this before where I've taken the grateful living and it's morphed into having a more joyful life. But there are also some things I can do besides being grateful to make my life more joyful. And the things that I wrote down are, excuse me, first of all, less time on social media. Now, that does not mean less time on YouTube. I love YouTube. Oh my gosh, I'm a YouTube junkie. If I'm not filming, I'm watching it. And I'm always looking. I must talk too much. The camera automatically shut off. So anyway, I love watching YouTube. So when I say less time on social media, I'm definitely not talking about YouTube. No, I'm referring more toward Facebook. I also love Facebook. I've been on Facebook for like 10 years. I do Facebook more to keep in touch with family that doesn't live in the area, friends from high school, you know, seeing how big everybody's kids are getting and what they're doing in their life and where are they vacationing, to give me some ideas. I've always had a positive experience with Facebook. However, lately, if you are on Facebook and you live in the United States, you know how negative Facebook has become, and now we have Facebook censoring everything. It's just not the experience that it used to be. I'm not going to remove myself from Facebook. I use it kind of like I use YouTube. It's also a diary for my own life. Where YouTube is a video diary, Facebook, I can go back in the memories every day, and it's kind of like a diary. And I'll see other pictures that I posted 8, 9, 10 years ago. So I'm not giving up on it, but I'm definitely going to spend less time on it. If I see posts that are negative, I don't have to read them. I can just scroll past, and that is going to help me to remain more joyful. Because you know how it is. You start reading all the negative, and then you're just sad or you're angry. It equates into a negative emotion. Another way to equate more joy, mantras. You can again Google mantras. Just things that you can say when you're cooking, when you're driving. Things that you can say out loud and repeat that are positive quotes and expressions to bring more joy into your life. Podcasts is another thing that I know I can do. I've never listened to a podcast. So it's something that I'm not saying I'm going to do this for sure. I'm not a fan of like talk radio. Like if I'm driving, don't be putting on the talk radio crap, man. I can't deal with that. I can't listen to that squawking. I'm fine to look at something and watch like a video presentation. Again, YouTube. But that whole squawking in my ear while I'm driving and cooking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with that. Again, I may look into a podcast on joy and try it. Don't know for sure if I'm going to be able to handle it. And then the last thing I wrote down as far as focusing on joy and how I can do that is mindfulness. Being present in the moment. So, for example, doing these podcasts while you're doing something else, you're multitasking. You're not in the moment. Not saying that's a bad thing, but it's totally opposite of what I'm thinking of. When I say mindfulness, being present in the moment you are in. For example, I'm going to go out here and cook dinner. So normally I'd be blaring music and my mind's, besides cooking, it's focused on God knows what. To be mindful, when I go out here and I start cutting my vegetables, cutting my meat, marinating everything, bringing my brain and my thoughts to exactly what I'm doing, and looking at my hands while they're doing stuff, and just being present right here, right now, with exactly what I'm doing. That's mindfulness. And it causes the brain, especially my crazy brain with its OCD, to slow down. And it's not so scattered. And that calming can bring happiness and joy, because at least me, again, because I've done this before, that calming sensation and the relaxing sensation of just being right here, right now, in this present moment, it's like a sigh of relief. And it lightens your spirit. It lightens your load. So, I think I've rambled long enough. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. I'm so sorry if it's way too long. But that's my word for 2021. It's focus. So if you have a word for next year, this year, we're in 2021, Michelle. If you have a word for this year, let me know in the comments what your word is, because I'm always curious to see, you know, what other people are focusing on. Focus, I use my word. So yeah, I'm always curious to see, you know, what other people have picked for their word for the year and things that you might be doing to implement that word into your daily life. So I'm going to sign off. I will see you in a future video. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.